Welcome back for today's lessons. Let's see what more we can learn about the Mass today. As the priest is preparing for Mass, he prays these vesting prayers. The very first thing he does is he washes his hands, and he says silently, "Give virtue, O Lord, to my hands, that every stain may be wiped away, that I may be enabled to serve you without defilement of mind or body." Then he takes the amice, places it on his head, wraps it around his neck, and he says, "Place, O Lord, on my head the helmet of salvation, that I may overcome the assaults of the devil." The next thing he does is he puts on that long white robe. It's called the alb. And he says, "Purify me, O Lord, from all stains, and cleanse my heart, that washed in the blood of the Lamb, I may enjoy the eternal delights." The next thing he does is he puts on that cincture, that white robe like a belt. "Gird me, O Lord, with the cincture of purity, and quench in my heart the fire of concupiscence," that's lust, "that the virtue of continence and chastity may remain in me." A priest can't be pure and chaste unless he's humble and asks God for help. Then he puts the stole over his shoulders. "Restore to me, O Lord, the state of immortality which was lost to me by my first parents," that was Adam and Eve, "and although I am unworthy to approach your sacred mysteries, grant me eternal joy." Finally, he puts the chasuble over his shoulders as he says, "O Lord, who said, 'My yoke is sweet and my burden is light,' grant that I may carry it so as to obtain your grace. Amen." It's not mandatory for the priest to pray those prayers, but it really helps put him in the mood. You can pray them in English or you can pray them in Latin. I know them in both. After Mass, there's a couple of prayers that you can pray. I'm going to show you something very special, which I'll bet you've never seen before. You see this beautiful wooden case here, the millwork. Inside here, we have the sacred vestments that the priest uses when he celebrates Mass. So take a look at this. We have a white one for days of rejoicing, a purple vestment, that's called a chasuble, for Lent and Advent. Here we have a red one for Feast of a Martyr or Pentecost Sunday. Here is a green chasuble and stole as well. This is the stole for ordinary days. And then we have some additional ones here. This one is a beautiful one for the Divine Mercy Sunday. Here's another one with a beautiful image of Our Lady on the front, Our Lady of Guadalupe, and here's one of St. Joseph. Now, what's so interesting about this closet, it squeaks a little bit, but that's okay, is the size of those hangers. They're very large, they're custom made, and the reason why the hanger is so large is so that these vestments last a long time. They're made out of silk and satin and gold thread, and they're very expensive, they're very beautiful, and if you take care of them, they'll last over 100 years if you hang them on something like this. Also in the closet, you can see there's a little mirror there, so when the priest vests, he makes sure that his vestments are put on properly, and he doesn't look like a slob when he goes out for Mass. So I thought I'd show that to you, and I have to credit the inspiration of this closet to St. Josemaria, the founder of Opus Dei. He said in our chapels and churches, we want the best for God, but only one of each item. He did, one for ordinary time and one for festival days. Inside this closet, we have a number of vestments, and the white ones, this is called an alb, A-L-B. In the early church, when you were baptized, you put on a white vestment. If you take your child to get baptized, they'll wear a white vestment. The nice thing about these vestments is they're made out of polyester and cotton, so they're pretty easy to maintain, and we clean them regularly. And there's different sizes for the different priests who come, because as you know, priests come in different shapes and different sizes. Also in the closet, we have a cope, C-O-P-E. That's a cape, right? And the cape is used for very special ceremonies, like benediction of the Blessed Sacrament. And remember what Jesus said. He said, go out into the whole world and spread the good news. So if you liked what you learned today, please tell your friends about it. Because the more we teach the faith, the more we can bring people closer to Christ and that'll be a great blessing for them.